Good morning, everyone. Another piece of random information. I've been going through my memories of when my son was little, and a lot of confusion is around the whole meltdown issue. And if you don't know, meltdowns are based in emotions: sadness, scared, anxiety will all manifest as anger. I don't know how, I don't know why, but that's where, you know, it's better to catch this down here before the meltdown. It gets out of control and gets up to here and is like unmanageable. You want to catch it here. And so the biggest thing is pay attention to how your kids are acting around different topics. Like my son, we were all involved with the election process, and he was learning about our democracy. But when our party did not win, he got very, very upset. Big, huge meltdown. I had no idea why. And you have to try to pick it apart with them maybe afterward. And because now he gets to the point where he's like, you know what my problem is? And I'm like, no, why don't you tell me? I'm mad about the election. And I'm like, okay, well, we did our part. We voted, and, well, other people voted for the other candidate. What are you going to do? It is what it is. You can't change it. So that's something that autistic people have a hard time with, is change. So do I. I don't know if I'm a little autistic or ADHD or something myself on top of the MS, but change is not good for me as well. My son, he's very calendar oriented. So I kid you not, we have like 4 calendars that he keeps up with every single day. He's got to cross off the day on every calendar, and that's his thing. So I just let him do it. So if your kids tend to be fixated on something, as long as it's not something that's self-harm or can get them in trouble of any kind, let them do it. Perfect example, you have to be willing to accept their ways of doing things. Prime example. Okay, we were doing ABA therapy at home when he was about 6, and there was someone else at the house, and the lead therapist was there from the therapy organization, or whatever you want to call it, and he was asked to do dishes, or told it, whatever. And so he started doing the dishes, but then was criticized because they weren't being done the way this person thought it should be done. And we're like, the lead therapist and I were like, what is your problem? He is doing what you wanted him to do. You cannot pick apart and criticize what he's doing when he's doing what you asked him to do, just in his own way. And you've got to be accepting of that, because no matter how many times you try to tell them to do certain things a certain way that you've been taught from you were a little kid, doesn't always work for them. So I guess I'm going to title this one Meltdown Root Cause. I don't know. And Facebook has been giving me a lot of flack lately the last 2 weeks. It keeps banning me for a couple of days where I can't do my normal activity because it keeps telling me that I'm violating community guidelines. I don't understand that, because I'm not doing anything different other than talking to more people in the autism community. So if anybody else is having issues like that, I would appreciate hearing it, because I don't know if it's just me, and I don't know. But so I'm going to be doing it this way for now. Instead of doing live videos, I'm going to just make videos with my phone, and then I'll post them in my group, because I don't know, maybe that's part of the problem. But anyway, so, and if your kid has a meltdown in public, so freaking what? My son was, what was he, 3 or 4, and we went into, I don't know if I told this story or not. I have MS, so I may retell the same stories a lot, and if I did, I apologize, but I'm going to retell it in case I didn't and somebody needs to hear this. Anyway, we were at a local mini mart gas station kind of thing, and we were walking over by where the coolers are for the sodas and the milk and all that stuff. And there was a wet floor sign stating that the floor had just been mopped. Now, I did a video the other day about how he had to find out for himself by burning his hand on the electric burner. Ah! Well, the same was with this too. I told him that's a wet floor sign. That means the floor is slippery, so don't run or you will slip and fall. What does he do? Runs, slips, bam, hits his head. Instant meltdown because he's in pain. And there's this older lady working the store and she comes running around. What's going on? And I said, excuse me, but my son has got autism and he's having a meltdown and we've got this handled. Thank you. You can go away now. And sometimes you have to be as direct as that because people want to stick their nose in where it doesn't belong. Also, another tip, when you're out in public, and and this goes with other kids without disabilities too. My son's pulled this on me a couple of times. If he wants something and I tell him no at the store, and he would go into a full-blown meltdown, banging his head on the floor at the store and everything, and I just walked away because it messed his head up so bad because he wanted a reaction from me and he didn't get it. And as soon as he didn't get the reaction he wanted, he stopped. So there's a lot of tips and tricks like that I'm going to be sharing in this group. And I apologize that they're like in no specific order because that's just how my brain works in sections and through different ways. But so that's some tips for today. If you're out in public, do not be ashamed of your child. I mean, even if they're having a full-blown freaking crying fit meltdown where they're not getting any better. Worst thing you have to do is just leave your cart and leave with your kid so they can get calmed down. I don't agree with that because that gives them the control to think that if I have a big meltdown and if I don't want to go shopping or to the store, I'll just have a big meltdown and mom will get frustrated and we'll leave the store and I don't have to worry about it. There goes the manipulation thing again. They may not realize they're doing it because of the way their brain thinks, but like I said in another video, they are just as good as any other kid, maybe a little more, of playing parents against each other or, you know, caregivers, couples or whatever, who's ever taking care of them playing against each other. You got to keep that wall, that solidarity, because with that wall comes joint support where the nonsense can't break through. But if the wall blows up, then it's a whole new ball game and you got to change the game plan. But don't be ashamed of your kids acting out in Walmart. And I don't care who gives you a dirty look. I mean, look at all of the people that go shopping with their attitudes. And I hate to pick on a specific store, but Walmart seems to be the worst. And that's where I walked away from my son at, in the middle of the main aisle. He was having a meltdown, screaming and banging his head on the floor. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here and watch this. And I walked away and he looked at me like, what? Where are you going? And, yeah, so it can get kind of extreme sometimes. But if you have any questions on how to deal with certain specific, like social situations, leave it in the comments. Because like I said, I'm going to try to go live, but I don't know, Facebook's giving me all kinds of heck. So for now, I'm just going to do videos and upload them to YouTube. So, but I will watch for all the comments. I do keep track of it, even if I'm not actively posting, because it seems like every time I actively post something, Facebook has got an issue with it, and I don't know why. So, you know what? I don't know. I got to figure it out. But anyway, that's today's video. Don't let the public outside of your family dictate how you parent your child, because we know what works. The outside world does it. They don't understand or don't want to be bothered. So it's our job to educate people in the moment. And I have gotten to the point in my life, I'm 54 now, and I was diagnosed with MS when I was 30, and Isaiah was diagnosed autistic when he was 5. So, you know, I know a lot about public scrutiny and people looking at you, all giving you a dirty look and all that stuff. And don't let people bother you. You know, the thicker your skin, the more resilient you are. And I know it's a process, and it's not something that you can wake up and say, okay, that's it. I've had enough. Today's the day. I'm starting and I'm not taking crap from anybody. But I wish it was easy as that, but it's not. So it's a gradual process, and yeah. So just baby steps most of the way until you get a better handle on what's going to work with your child specifically. So, and once again, I'm going to be posting personal information about our lives with MS and autism in the same house. Gets very interesting at times. Oh, okay. So, but anyway, that's this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.